Welcome to your chemistry class. Let's continue our chapter heat and temperature. And today's topic is transfer of heat. You might have observed that a frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When the pan is removed from the fire, what happens? It slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So you can understand that in both cases the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. So what is transfer of heat? Heat energy always flows from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature till both attain the same temperature, and this phenomenon is called transfer of heat. Heat energy always flows from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature till both attain the same temperature, and this phenomenon is called transfer of heat. The main ways by which transfer of heat occurs are conduction, convection and radiation. These are the ways through which transfer of heat is taking place. Which are the ways? They are conduction, convection and radiation. Let's discuss one by one. And the first one is conduction. So let's check an activity to understand what is conduction. Take a rod or flat strip of a metal. You can take whether aluminum or iron. Fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distance. You can see in the picture. Clamp the rod to a stand. If you do not find a stand, you can put one end of the rod in between bricks. Now hit the other end of the rod and observe. What happens to the wax pieces? Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece falls the first? So we want to check how does the conduction of heat occur. In a solid, the molecules are closely arranged. When a solid is heated, the molecules near the source of heat gain thermal energy and begin to vibrate faster. These molecules then collide with the colder, slower molecules and transfer some thermal energy, making them also vibrate faster, became warm, and then in turn collide and transfer the heat to the neighboring particles, and so on. In this way, heat is transferred from one particle to the next through collision of vibrating particles within the substance. That is, within the same substance, this process that heat is transferring from one place to another. And this process is called conduction. What is conduction? The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. Colder end of a same object, this transfer is taking place, and in solids generally the heat is transferred by the process of conduction. So in the case of solids, heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Do all substances conduct heat easily? You must have observed that the metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. Why we are using plastic or wooden handles for metallic pans? We want to check that. Some materials allow heat to pass through them, but some others will not allow heat to pass through them. So, the materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are conductors of heat. For examples, aluminium, iron and copper. And the materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are poor conductors of heat, such as plastic and wood. Poor conductors are known as insulators. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are poor conductors of heat, such as examples of poor conductors are plastic and wood, and these poor conductors are known as insulators. So now are you clear why we are using a plastic or wooden handle for metallic pans? Why? Because plastic or wood are poor conductors of heat, and thus the heat will not pass from the metal to this wood or plastic. And the water and air are poor conductors of heat. Can you say any other practical application of conduction? One we have already said, that is in the case of pans we are using plastic or wooden handles. Can you say any other practical application of conduction? Yes, woolen clothes keeps us warm in winter. This is also another application of conduction. In the winter, we use woolen clothes, and wool is a poor conductor of heat. Moreover, there is air trapped in between the wool fibers. This air prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cold surroundings, so we feel warm. Next mode of heat transfer is known as convection. So, what is convection? Convection is the transfer of heat by the movement of particles. Convection is the transfer of heat by the movement of particles. And convection is the primary mode of heat transfer in fluids such as liquids and gases. That is, in the case of liquids and gases, the heat is transferred through the method of convection. How does convection take place? Let's check. When a liquid or gas is heated, it expands. As a result, it becomes lighter and moves upwards. The cooler, heavier fluid from the surroundings rushes to take its place and is heated in turn. And this process continues and gives rise to a convection current through which heat energy flows and the entire liquid or gas gets heated. Convection currents give rise to breeze in coastal regions. So, sea breeze and land breeze are two types of breezes occurring through convection. So, first is sea breeze. What is sea breeze? That is, during the day, the land heats up faster than the sea. So, the air above the land becomes warmer and rises upwards. The cooler air from the sea rushes towards the land and takes its place, resulting in a sea breeze during the day. And what is land breeze? At night, the land cools faster. Therefore, the air above the sea is warmer than the air over the land. At night, cooler air from the land replaces the warmer air above the sea, resulting in a land breeze. Practical applications of convection. Let's check what are the practical applications of convection. First is exhaust fan. Exhaust fans in kitchens are always fitted high, close to the ceiling, so that they can remove the hot air that rises up. And second is in the case of room heaters. Room heaters are placed on the floor of a room. When the cool air is heated, it rises up and the cold air flows down to the floor, and this results in effective heating of the entire room. And the third is ventilators. The ventilators of a room at the top of a window or the door. This is because when the air in the room gets heated, it rises and passes out from the ventilators at the top. So these are the practical applications of convection. Other than conduction and convection, there is another method through which heat can be transferred from a hot body to the cooler ones. This is radiation. It does not require any medium for the transfer. This can take place whether a medium is present or not. This is the process by which the heat from the sun reaches us. All hot objects radiate heat. A hot utensil kept away from the flame cools down as it transfers heat to the surroundings by radiation. Our body too gives heat to the surroundings and receives heat from it by radiations. So, all hot bodies radiate heat, and when this heat falls on some object, a part of it is reflected, a part is absorbed, and part may be transmitted. The temperature of the object increases due to the absorbed part of the heat. How this temperature of the object increasing? Due to the absorbed part of the heat. There is another interesting fact about radiation. The amount of heat an object can absorb by radiation also depends on the color of the object. Dark colored objects absorb more heat than light colored objects. Light colored clothes absorb less heat from the sun, and therefore we feel cool in them during summer. Likewise, during winter, we feel more comfortable wearing dark colored clothes as they absorb more heat. Working of a thermos flask. A thermos flask is used to maintain the temperature of liquids kept in it. It keeps hot liquids hot or cold liquids cold for a longer time. The outer casing of a thermos flask is made up of plastic, which acts as an insulator, preventing the heat loss through conduction. Inside it is a double-walled container made of glass or stainless steel. Both the walls are polished, so they are shiny. The space between the two walls is a vacuum. This prevents the heat loss through convection. The shiny surface of the wall also prevents heat loss through radiation. So this chapter is over, and if you have any doubt, feel free to ask. And in the next class, you have a test paper from this chapter. So study well and prepare for the exam. Best wishes.